nature walk. God damn it, don't ever move to Southern California. It's like March and it's 1,000 degrees. I'm all sweaty. Damn. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to do this like this because there's no tripod. But this week is coming out week. And so I guess I'll tell you about my coming out story. It's not that exciting, but I do have a story. So, yeah. Let's get started. So, let's go back to elementary school and everyone calling me gay. So when I was little, I was super gay. I would walk around like shaking my ass everywhere, thinking I was cute, and everybody noticed. And my mom was actually the principal of my elementary school. And so only like the rebels would call me gay because they thought my mom would get mad if they found out. But she never did. And so let me hold up. Okay. But yeah, so then I never thought anything of it because I thought, you know, everyone gets called gay because people are bitches. And I would call people gay. I had a friend and he was really, really flamboyant. And to this day he hasn't come out, but we all know he's gay. Ashlyn can tell you and confirm. But I used to do it and I used to think everyone else did it, but that wasn't the case. And then we went on to middle school and I mean, everyone gets called like faggot or gay in middle school. It just happens. But it happened to me more than it should have. But oh fuck, I'm okay. But it kind of stopped when me and Ash started hanging out because everyone was scared of her. So, I mean, it wasn't too bad. And then in 7th grade, nothing happens. Like, nobody called me gay. But Ashlyn would always question me because she knew. And she would just be like, Blake, like, if you like penis, just tell me. And I used to always be like, no, I don't. And then, like, she just was persistent about it. And so then one day I just started thinking about it. Because I never actually thought about it. Like, I always just put it aside. Because I thought, you know, like, I always envisioned myself. Because, like, when I was little, I would always just think about, like, oh, like, who would I marry, stuff like that. Like, gay thoughts. Like, my wedding and stuff like that. And it was always like, oh, I always wanted the, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, like, girl. But then, like, when you figure out you're gay, it just clicks. One night, it's just like, fuck. Like, damn it, I'm gay. It just clicks. And in the beginning of 8th grade, it did. Like, one night I was sitting down and I was like, okay, like, I've been having these feelings and I'm not going to deny them and I'm gay. And I'm not going to tell anybody yet until I get to high school. But I went on with that mentality for a couple months until October 24th, I remember. And I told my friend Marielle. And she just like didn't know how to react to it. But she was just kind of whatever. And then a couple weeks after that, at break, I went up to Ashlyn. And I mean, Ashlyn explained in her video, I was shaky, I wouldn't say it. But then I finally said it. And like she loved me more, I think. Sorry, my camera cut out. But yeah, she loved me more, I think, than she did before. Just because she knew I was being real, you know? And so then now at this point, 2 people knew, and I was like, okay, like, these are 2 people I can trust. And then I told my friend who was a lesbian, and her mom was a lesbian. I keep running out of storage. Sorry. So her mom was a lesbian, so I told her, and that blew up in my fucking face because I had this friend Ryan who was my best friend, and we did everything together. He was like a brother to me, and I really didn't want him to find out because I always thought he was really homophobic, and I just didn't want him to find out. But one night I was on the phone with Sydney, the lesbian, and we were three-waying with Ryan, and she, prior to this point, she kept wanting me to tell Ryan that I was gay, but I just didn't want to, because he's like family, and you all know family is the hardest to tell, and so, like, I just didn't want to. I was like, no, like, stop. And then when we were three-waying, she said, Blake, do you have something you want to tell Ryan? And I was like, fuck, like, no, I don't, Sydney. Like, I knew what she was trying to fucking do. And, God, it's hot. And so I just hung up the phone because I was like, damn it, like, now he knows something's up. And then he called me, and he said, oh, he's like, what did you want to tell me? What is he talking about? And I was like, dude, like, stop. Like, it's none of your business. Like, just stop. And then he kept, trying to get it out of me, and I just kept saying no, and I ended up just not talking to him anymore. Because I was like, I'm done. And then he called me saying that Sydney had told him something. And I was like, seriously? Like, this bitch really just said something. And so then he just told me, like, it's okay, like, I know, but I want to hear you say it. And I was like, Ryan, I'm so not gonna say it. Like, just stop. And I was like, it was 2 years ago. So it was like 12. It was like 12, 13. No, yeah, I was 13. And I was just like, no, like, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, stop. And he was just like, okay, like, I know that you're gay and stuff like that. And he's like, I totally accept it, stuff like that. And so, like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, my best friends know. And, I stopped talking to Sydney after that, by the way. But other than that, I was like, yeah, cool, my best friends know. Life's good. And then April 1st happened last year. And that wasn't cool. So April 1st was the day my parents found out because of my stupid ass. So Tyler Oakley had a contest a month before about putting duct tape over your mouth and saying something that no one else knows. And so I was like, okay, cool, it sounds awesome. It was part of the Dorito shit that he always does. And, oh damn. And so, anyways, I did it, and I got duct tape, and I put it over my mouth. And I said I was gay on it, took the picture, sent it in, and didn't delete it off my iPod. So, it was on my iPod for a while, and I keep my iPod in the bathroom, because I use it while I take a shower, listen to music. But so does my sister. And so my sister was on the iPod while she was in the shower, like, picking a song she wanted to listen to. And, I mean, my arm hurts really bad. Okay, sorry. So she was like, oh, like, let's see what pictures are on here. And she found the picture. And it concerned her because it looked depressing and suicidal. Because there was duct tape on my mouth, my face was blank, and said I was gay on it. And so she thought I was gonna kill myself. And so she sent it to her phone and kept it for a little while. And then my parents were on vacation. And it was just me and my sister by ourselves for a little bit, for a couple days. And then when my mom was coming home, she called me and she said, what's going on with you and your sister? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what? And she said my sister asked to meet my parents for coffee before they came home. And my mom thought we were fighting and that I had said something that upset my sister. And so at first I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, she has school stuff. She was then she was a sophomore, junior, like drama, and so I was like, okay, no, nothing's going on. So then I told my friend Ryan what had happened, and he said, Blake, remember that picture that was on your iPod? What if your sister found it and is going to tell your parents? And I was like, there's no fucking way. And even if she did find it, she wouldn't tell them. But she did find it, and she did tell them. She showed them the picture, and she said, you know, she's like, I'm worried I wouldn't have said anything because I don't know how he wants you guys to know. And so my mom was like, okay. And that night, she came home and she called me into her room and she asked me, she was like, Blake, explain this picture to me. So she showed up the picture and I didn't know what to do. I was like, shit. Like, I couldn't think of anything. I mean, now I could think stuff. Like, it was April 1st. I could have said it was April Fool's. I don't know, but my mind went blank. And so I just stood there and I was staring at her. And I was like, I just got really defensive. I was like, so? Like, what's the problem? It's just a picture. And she was like, is this true? And I was just like, yeah, it's true. Like, you know, and she just told me, like, you know, that she'll always love me and stuff like that. And then my dad was in the room, and my dad was just like, I don't care. You know, they were accepting of it, like, just the normal, like, lovey-dovey parent stuff. And then, after that, we did go to therapy about it, because my mom still thought I was going to kill myself because of it. When in reality, it was just a Tyler Oakley picture. But yeah, and so therapy stopped because I wasn't feeling it. I didn't think it was necessary. I thought it was weird. I thought only, like, really depressed people get therapy. So I stopped going. My mom still goes, like, once a month about it, but she had stuff in her past that she also goes about, like, to talk to him about. And so, yeah, and I'm totally out in high school. Everyone is totally okay with it. If anything, it made me, like, 10 times more popular. And yeah, so as of right now, all is good. The parents know because of my picture. All my friends know. And life's good. And that's the way I want to keep it. Now for some, like, advice about coming out. I would definitely not take a picture and leave it on your iPod for your siblings to find. But honestly, I would just do it at your own rate, honestly. Because I wasn't ready to come out to my parents, and so when it did happen, I just became really, like, anal about it, and I got really mad at my parents, which I shouldn't have, but it was just my way of coping with it. And I feel like if you are pushed out or outed, it just makes everything, like, worse, and you just become angry. And that is exactly what happened. And I really don't recommend that. So just really go at your own pace. Start with your best friend. And I would, like, whatever feels right. Because if it doesn't feel right, you'll get like I did, and you would get angry, and it just won't end well. But honestly, guys, it's not a big deal. It's just, you like the same sex, and that's it, honestly. No one should really give a shit. But people do, I get it. I'm not stupid, but if people say shit, just fucking ignore it. It's stupid. But, I guess I'm gonna go home now, because, my back's been sweat, and that ain't cute. But yeah, bye guys.